Welcome back to the reading of I'm A.S.S, a Suicide Survivor by M.J. Forrest. You can pick up your own copy through Amazon if you would like. We learned last week that Donkey took pills and got a gun from the deputy and shot himself. So let's see what happens. When Donkey opened his eyes, the air all around him was very hazy, like a thick fog. He rubbed his eyes and looked all around. He couldn't see any of the shops or businesses. There was a quietness that made Donkey a little uneasy. He breathed in, and it felt almost like he was breathing in dew from the flowers in the morning. Over on the bridge, the haziness was starting to part. On the bridge, he saw an old man walking toward him. The closer he got, the clearer he was. He had dark, brown, wavy hair that touched his shoulders. He had some kind of long brown dress that had a cord knotted around his waist. He carried a walking stick and wore sandals on his otherwise bare feet. He came and stood in front of Donkey. Donkey looked up at the old man. The old man had kind, blue eyes. He talked in a soft voice and said, "You need to come with me." He led Donkey out of the square, down the road, and over the bridge. "Where are we going?" asked Donkey, to which the old man replied, "To a boxing match." After what seemed like a long time walking, Donkey asked, "When will we get there?" The old man simply said, "Soon." A little later, Donkey asked, "Why are we going to a boxing match?" The old man said, "You will see." They walked some more, and Donkey asked again, "How much farther?" The old man, still walking, said very softly and very kindly, "Not much farther. Be patient, Donkey." Fairly soon after that, they came to a boxing ring. The old man walked up the steps to the ring and opened the top two ropes that were hooked to one side and motioned for Donkey to enter the ring. Donkey stepped over the bottom rubbery rope, still enclosed the square platform. He looked back at the old man who had not entered the ring and was just reconnected the ropes. Donkey gave him a very sad, confused look with his big brown eyes and asked, "Aren't you coming too?" The old man said, "No, Donkey, you go on in. You have to go in there by yourself. I'm afraid it is not my fight. It is yours." Donkey still didn't move and looked all the sadder. The old man said a little firmer, "I can't go in the ring with you." He added in a very kind voice, "I will be here when you get out, no matter what." Donkey turned around and walked to the center of the ring. All of a sudden, there were people all around the perimeter of the ring, seated in seats. They were looking right at him. A spotlight came on overhead, flooding the whole area inside the ring and making all the people look like shadows. A somewhat heavy-set man came into the ring. He was dressed in black pants, shoes, and a striped shirt. He had wavy salt and pepper hair that was short above his ears. He motioned to Donkey to come near him. The man explained, "You are here because you tried to kill yourself. It isn't good to do that. But here we all give you a crack at a second chance. This isn't a punishment for your actions because we all love you. We see the worth in you, but you have to see it for yourself. So for that to happen, we have set up a boxing match with each of the 5 contenders. Each of the contenders is one that you've had a problem with. If you beat these contenders that you have had trouble with, you can be given a second chance to live and be happy. I know that is a special word with you. Happiness can be achieved with this help. The first match begins almost immediately." Donkey was ushered over to a corner, and a woman carrying boxing gloves climbed into the ring. She said the boxing gloves were for Donkey. He held up his front hoofs, and she strapped them on. He was amazed when he found that he could stand on just his back legs. She ushered Donkey back to the middle of the ring, where the man in the striped shirt was waiting. He heard some noise going on just outside the ring. People were booing and hollering. He looked over to the side as a stick-like figure with a long face and a ponytail climbed into the ring. She was so thin that when she climbed through the rope, she did so very easily and without moving any of the 3 bands of rubbery rope. She was wearing a black leotard and tights that made her look almost skeletal. She had on boxing gloves, white sneakers, and with a sneer on her mouth, she walked up to the 2 of them in the middle of the ring. She looked down at Donkey, still sneering, and said, "You know you want to be thin. You can't beat me, Donkey. Just lie down right away and stay down when you first hear the bell." The referee stated a few rules. He said no rabbit punches and nothing below the waist. He didn't say belt, since neither one was wearing a belt, and then showed them to the opposite corners to wait for the bell. And we'll stop there and take up next week. And again, thank you for listening, and I hope this reading will help at least one person out there. We'll see you next week. Bye.